hot has been IT, and that's been the surprise mover. After dismal Q4, that's March quarter numbers, and June quarter numbers, the stocks have been rising. One such has been Zensar Technology. Now, Zensar, in the last 1 year, has rallied 145%. This year itself, the stock has gained more than 150%, and this month, it's up close to about 7%. Manish Tandon, the MD and CEO, he took over, as at the helm of the company in December of last year, is now with us on the show. Manish, thank you very much for joining in. Well, the stock has had an outstanding run, 160% since the beginning of the year. One would think that there is no slowdown of any kind. Now, Q1 is a good quarter for you. You had a constant currency revenue growth of 1.5%. The question is about the sustainability of growth for you from here on. You've had a couple of bad quarters, that Zensar per se, but growth has come back in Q1. Can it sustain? What's the visibility that you have?
So I think there are, the market remains tough. I will not mince words. I think the stock price has done, and incidentally, it's more than 160%. It's more than doubled. I think the stock price has done well primarily because of the margin improvements that we have been able to achieve over the last 2-3 quarters. We are fairly confident that we will be able to maintain margins in the mid-teen ranges. Anything above that, we will invest in the growth of the business. We believe, I believe, and the team believes that mid-teens is a sustainable margin that we will be able to deliver to our investors.
Mr. Tandon, you're saying mid-teens. Are you being over-conservative? Because I believe you're already close to 19%, 18.5%, 19% in the first quarter. So why not say that you would perhaps reach out for 20%?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I want to first get the mid-teens to be sustainable and then aim higher. That is my game plan. Also, I want to invest in revenue growth also. And when the market is tough, as you know, investments in sales are needed. So that is another area that I want to first invest in before I aim higher for the margins.
All right, so margins should be at around the mid-teen kind of level, and you're looking at sustaining over there. But you were facing challenges in the high-tech vertical. You had earlier indicated there was some softness in the demand environment, and that clients were deferring projects as well. Is there any change on that front? Have you seen demand pick up from those levels now?
Well, both high-tech and consumer services remain tough environments, and again, this is primarily because of when you compare it to the post-COVID boom, things have slowed down significantly from there. I personally believe that till the interest rates remain high and the quantitative tightening continues, the market, both these sectors, they are very consumer-dependent sectors, and both these sectors will continue to underperform other sectors overall. So, in a nutshell, the market remains tough. Our approach has been, again, I don't want to focus on macro so much because we have a very small market share. So that's why I am asking the team and myself, we are focusing much more on execution. I mean, if a 500 billion market shrinks to 480 billion, we are only 600 million in size, right? So I can worry about the market or I can worry about my execution. And that's what we are focusing on. We are focusing on the execution.
Okay, high-tech and consumer services vertical will remain tough, perhaps underperform as long as US interest rates continue to remain high, but your focus is on execution. Manish, one vertical which has done well for you has been banking. In fact, the revenue contribution of banking has been steadily going up. It currently stands at 21%. It was about 16-17% last year. Now, some of the IT companies in the industry have a revenue contribution from BFSI in excess of even 30%. Would you like to increase your focus on BFSI, increase its revenue contribution?
Actually, if you look at BFSI, I would say globally, I would say that the contribution is close to 33% already. And BFSI continues to do very well for us. It grew last year and it continues to grow this year also. We have also we also see continued interest in BFSI clients in growing with us. I don't want us to have a large concentration risk on any vertical because if you have too much of concentration, then it leads to different problems, as is evident with some of my other larger competitors and peers. So I would like to maintain a sectoral thing of around 30% or so maximum for each of the verticals that we are working on.
Sir, let's talk about deal wins, because we've been speaking to some of the other mid-sized IT companies as well, and we're getting different sort of commentary from them. Mastech told us that the pace of closures is increasing. Happiest Minds told us it's pretty much where it was in the first quarter. So you tell us from your lens, because for you, deal wins were down 11% quarter on quarter in the first quarter. So what's happening in the second quarter? Are you seeing any improvement?
I don't think so. I don't think anything has changed over the last 2 quarters. Frankly, I don't know enough where I can say, okay, previously the deal cycles were exactly 6 months and now they are like 5.5 months or so. I don't have that least count on my scale, but I would say things have not changed in the last 2 quarters at all.
All right, that is on the deal wins. Mr. Tandon, one more question on your M&A. Could you tell us, are there any plans? Where does it figure into this entire growth that you have planned out? And is there some kind of revenue goal that you're working with for this, say, the next 3 to 5 years?
So M&A is definitely on the horizon. We continue to look at deals, at least one deal every every week. We need to continue to look at it. We have a fantastic cash position. We are sitting on close to $230 million in cash, if I'm not mistaken. So yes, M&A continues to be an area of interest for us. But our M&A focus is not to go and buy revenues, but to buy real capabilities and skills and invest in the future, so to say. On the time horizon over the next few years, see, I'm a very pragmatic person. I don't think that we can, really go from industry laggards to market leading position overnight. So the goal that I have set for myself and the team is that every year we should move up a quartile in the rankings vis-a-vis our peers and the industry. Currently means that as of last year, we were in the bottom quartile. So successively every year, I want us to move at least one quartile every year. Also, I don't want to focus too much on revenue growth. I come from a private equity background. I want to focus more on EBITDA growth. So it's easy to add revenues and not add to the bottom line. In fact, one of the things that I have done is I have tried to reduce the share of pass-through revenues that Zensar was doing in the past, and I will continue to focus more on the bottom line growth rather than just the top line.
Mr. Tandon, that's really interesting, sir. I guess you're probably old school private equity, where the bottom line and the EBITDA line was really important. The new guys probably forgot that, and we know what happened with the new age companies till they came to the market. But great conversation. Thank you very much for joining in. That's Zensar Tech. Rima, so what do you think? We've